Hey there, YouTubes. Okay. Well, I have to admit, I've had a rough day. Just some things have happened, and I'm thinking about some stuff in my life and some decisions that I've made. And, well, among all this stress, a thought crossed my mind. A thought crossed my mind to engage in a behavior that I know is not healthy, and that I've been in remission from for a year now. You know. And I've just also been thinking about it in general. I did some research, looked up online, and apparently pain releases endorphins. And endorphins are a brain chemical associated kind of with happiness, relaxation, and just feeling good. Strangely. But it would make sense. Hypothetically, I mean, if you are in pain and your body released positive chemicals to help soothe that pain so that you were able to carry on, or maybe you were able to run from a predator, or that you were able to continue doing something that ultimately had very positive results for your group or for yourself, then it would make sense as to why pain would trigger positive chemicals within the brain. And also, strangely enough, high amounts of exercise can trigger these positive chemicals. Orgasms can trigger these positive chemicals. So it would make sense as to why cutting would be a release for a lot of people, because it would force the brain to release these chemicals, working on, again, the natural pain routes. I will link below the information that I was looking at. And, well, with talking to one of my friends out there, you know who you are, this friend of mine brought up that she used to do a lot of exercise. She used to run and exercise a lot before she got some negative stresses in her life and turned to self-harm. And she noted in one of her messages that I was cured. But I don't think I've ever said that I've been cured. Because honestly, I still have the thoughts. I'd say I'm in remission because I haven't cut in a year, but I still have the thoughts. And I still sometimes have the desires. Once in a while, my skin will itch. Or I will just look at my skin and my body and just say, and just think, I could just release all these negative energies and feelings right now with a slice. And I'll even admit that in those times back when I was at my worst, and those times since I cut back my cutting, can't say that I didn't enjoy it. I can't say that I didn't get a positive feeling from self-harm. But then again, a lot of that was probably the endorphins that I would force my body to release. Because another part of what I went through was, there was a lot of times where I just felt emotionally drained, emotionally used up, emotionally tired. Physically I was okay, but emotionally I was just tired. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to think about anything. I just wanted to go numb, zonk out my brain, tune everything out. And I think that was probably when my needing television to fall asleep started, because rather than dealing with all the thoughts in my head, I could just zone out on television so I could fall asleep. Or I could just not have to worry about thinking about anything or feeling any emotion. I could just zone in on television and not bother with any of it. I'm not a survivor. I'm not somebody who's conquered cutting. I'm not. I'm in remission because I am not engaged in the physical activity in so long, roughly a year. But I'm not cured. Just like of my eating disorder, I'm not cured. Like in my confession video, I'll admit I have my ups and downs. I've gotten better. I'm certainly back on track. Even more back on track than the last time I talked about it. But I'm not cured. Do you ever become cured from cutting? I don't know. I talked to a friend of mine where I noticed that she had scars on her arms. And we talked about it some, and she hasn't cut for many years. But it just kind of makes you think. Alcoholics, they are never cured. They can fall back into old habits. They might be in remission, but they are never cured. Drug addicts, same thing. As well as people who do other things that are not necessarily the most positive for themselves or their bodies or anybody else in their life. So, where does that leave us? Well, I guess that leaves me with just thinking about stuff. Thinking about my past, thinking about where I am now when it comes to my negative habits. My negative habits as far as cutting goes are becoming fewer and fewer, and even the thoughts of the wanting to use that as a release have dwindled drastically. My eating disorder, it's a lot better than it used to be. And again, it's just forcing myself to be on track. Coming home from work and making sure to eat something, even if it's just a bowl of instant mashed potatoes or some ramen. That's something in my system that will keep me going, and it will hopefully keep my temper pretty even. Or when I have those negative thoughts, trying to find something else. Taking that time between the thought and the act, which, as I keep on repeating, the act has been over a year, nearly a year, over a year, close to a year since it happened. So I'm taking that time to cool off and grab a bite to eat. Do those things that I know will help to get some of those energies focused better. So, anyway, I hope everybody else out there is doing well. And you know, like I said, if you need somebody to talk to, I mean, there's lots of us out here who have dealt with a lot of negativity, and my PM box is always open. I mean, I can't give you, I am not a therapist by any means, but I can tell you about my experience, and my ears are always open to listen. Peace out, YouTubes.